And welcome into To Your Health. You know, many years ago, I went to an examination from my doctor. He said, Jack, you're a borderline diabetic. I said, I'm borderline. Then I went back, he said, Jack, you've crossed the border. What an eye-opener that would be. Because I do have diabetes, but there are some ways that I can control the diabetes. It's a disease that's never going to leave me, but I can keep it under control, and I can kind of reverse it. And a lot of times that's done with good nutrition. And we have with us today two of the gurus in the area of nutrition. Pam Green, you're with Baptist Health. You are over the diabetes program for Baptist Health and also a registered dietitian.
Yes.
And at Baptist Health, Mike Poulos, my good buddy. He's half Italian, so he's got to be okay. So he can give me good advice. Said I need to put more olive oil and garlic in my pasta.
You probably do.
That's what he's going to probably tell me. And you're at Baptist South, and obviously we have fun with it. But diabetes is serious. It can be life-threatening. It can be, you can go blind. You can lose limbs. You know, you can, all kinds of crazy things can happen. But what do we need to do nutritionally to address this?
Sure. The biggest thing for diabetes is going to be really honing in on how many carbohydrates a day that you're eating.
Okay.
And carbohydrates are important for diabetics because they directly impact your blood sugar, more so than protein or fat, the other two macronutrients. So really getting in the habit of assessing your plate at mealtime and saying, okay, I'm having spaghetti. I don't need that side of bread.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the garlic bread with spaghetti and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But that's exactly how people think.
Yeah.
Well, eat less of it then.
And
Have a
then-
smaller piece of bread.
Well, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so carbohydrates are important. Also watching your dietary fat, just because fat has the most calories per gram for all the energy yielding macronutrients. So really restricting your fat intake or being mindful of how much fat you're eating is going to be important. And mostly paying attention to how many calories a day you're eating. If you overconsume calories, you're putting yourself at risk for becoming overweight. 1 in 3 Americans are overweight. Alabama was just ranked number 8 in obesity prevalence out of the whole country. So that's an alarming
Not where we want to
statistic.
be.
No,
Not where we
not a
want to
good
be.
thing.
No.
Yeah. So, you know, practicing moderation, eating sensibly, paying attention to your hunger cues, and also trying to increase your physical activity is going to be very important. A lot of folks have the misconception that physical activity has to be planned activity, like going to the gym. Well, that's not the case. The American Council of Sports Medicine, ACSM, actually recommends 30 to 60 minutes most days of the week. And that 30 minutes doesn't have to be all at once. You can walk 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes after lunch, and 10 minutes in the evening, and you've allotted for your 30 minutes a day. I had a teacher in college who said she would walk 10 minutes after breakfast, 10 minutes after lunch, and then at night while she was watching the TV, during commercials, she would climb up and down the flight of her stairs, walk up and down the stairs in her home, and she'd get her 30 minutes in that way. So it doesn't have to be going to the gym, it doesn't have to be using the latest gym equipment. You can definitely be resourceful and use what's available to you.
So, and Pam, we talked about the fact that obviously that you can actually kind of reverse the effects of diabetes. And that's basically with exercise coupled with the diet, right?
We talked previously on another segment where we really want to get you when you have pre-diabetes, numbers not high enough. And when I talk about reversing.
And that number is between 90 and 100.
Well, 101, when you have a fasting blood sugar of 101, we call you pre-diabetic.
Okay.
So it gets
And then
lower
at
and lower.
120, you've kind of crossed the border.
126 fasting is
126.
diagnostic. So here's what we want to do. We proved it. They studied it. Weight loss is the key.
Right.
A 7% weight loss coupled with 150 minutes of exercise a week. For that particular population, normalize their blood sugars for a long time. And every year you get with normal blood sugars, you save a wealth of problems.
Right.
So when you have diabetes, we want to control it and keep the numbers down. And I would just put out to you, you know, it's behavior driven. All of us have behaviors, good and bad. Even dietitians have some food behaviors that we wish we could change. And so I would
You
just...
can tell us, we won't tell anybody.
I'm not going to confess, not on TV.
No, I know.
I would encourage people to look at their behaviors and pick 1 or 2 and say, I need to change this. And gradually, those things will help move you where you need to be. So changing behaviors.
Thank you guys so much for all this. This was a wealth of information, and We hope our viewers pay attention
I
to
hope
this.
so, because some diseases, there's nothing you can do anything about.
Right.
And this is
You
not one
can
of
do something about this, so just do it. Thanks for being with us, and we'll be right back.